I want to get a little bit of background on you. So, can you describe to me your relationship to them, where you live, or do you split your time between Florida and somewhere else? And basically, how did you become involved with the Hearts?
So I've known the Harts for over 20 years. I first met them when we both all lived in Tallahassee.
Mm.
And then I met them again after I moved to St. Petersburg for work. They were here and they were just an elderly couple without any family, without any children. They just needed some assistance. And, they were put in my path. And so I just said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take care of them.
Okay. And now, are you currently living in Florida now?
For the summer, I'm in North Carolina, but we've got things set up to take care of them, and I'm in phone contact with them. And I went down once during the summer to check on them.
But in being in North Carolina at certain times or during certain periods throughout the year, you've been able to help them from a distance
Yes,
through people that you've hired here, whether it's caregivers, um, friends, or even someone from our office. You've been able to kind of coordinate things because I'd have to say we've probably not met in person that many times, even when you're
right.
here. And that's the benefit of all this technology that we have. So before you reached out to our office, what was it you were doing for the Hearts?
Well, at that time, Mr. Hart used another organization to apply for his Medicaid benefits. And then when it came time to move Dorothy, I'm pretty sure that's the first time I reached out to you because he was in a nursing home. He had broken his arm and broken his hip. And Dorothy couldn't manage on her own by herself in her apartment. So I knew we needed to move her. And I just wanted to be sure I was doing the right thing for her.
And so you say you used another organization for his. Why didn't you go back to them for her?
Oh, because they were not really very helpful. And I realized that there were a lot of legal issues that this non legal organization really couldn't handle or help me with.
Okay. And would you say that we were able to step in and help you with some of these legal issues?
To me, you're like a guide on a hiking trail.
I like
And pardon me?
I said I like that. That's really neat.
Okay, that it came to me today. Johnathan is there to show me where the path is to follow on the hiking trail and alert me to pitfalls on matters that I haven't handled before. And it's such a relief. It's a blessing to have you there. It's reassuring to me that we're doing right by these people.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's been a pleasure to step in and help you. And I know that we haven't always had an answer right away, but we do what we can to find an answer if there's something that we're not sure about. What would you say were your frustrations prior to us becoming involved?
I think the frustrations were there were so many different roads to go down, so many different paths to follow. Getting the VA benefits, did they qualify? Getting Medicaid, did they qualify? What kind of place is going to be best for them at this stage of their life? Were their powers of attorney sufficient at this juncture since they had been done like 10 years before? And there were some legal issues that had changed. Those were just some of the frustrations of trying to go it alone or go it with a non-legal guide down these paths.
And how did you first hear about us?
I've known April for a long time, having lived in St. Petersburg. At one point, I think she was on the court appointed list. And I think that's probably where I first met her, or maybe at a St. Pete bar function.
And so when you first met with someone from our office, what made you decide to pull the trigger or do business with us?
You knew what you were doing.
We like the area. We like to help people with these issues, so it's near and dear to us, and we definitely work hard to learn as much as we can, and it's always changing. It's an evolving area, so we're trying to always stay on top of everything. Okay, so in what area of your life did you get the most value in working with us?
I think the best thing is when when it was time to apply for Dorothy's Medicaid, you just needed some basic information and you took it from there. So that was very useful to me so that I didn't have to figure it all out. And then when, we set up the qualified income trust because of Mr. Hart's situation, and then we set up another contract, a personal services contract for Dorothy. So without those things, Dorothy's care might have suffered.
And if I recall, he had always needed this qualified income trust, and it wasn't done previously by that other organization. Fortunately, he was approved for his Medicaid, but there was always the risk that he would have been denied or had benefits terminated during an annual review. So I do recall that was an area where we were able to step in and get that established and help the Hearts out in that area. Could you describe to me, and this is helpful too, are there any areas that you would recommend or that you would say that we could improve in our service? Is there anything that we can do better?
Nothing that you can do better, but maybe in addition. I would have been happy to pay you to handle all the finances for them, so that I didn't have to be concerned every month about, okay, do they have too much money in their accounts that's going to disqualify them? Are they going to have enough money to pay the rent when it's due? I would have been happy to pay you or somebody on your staff, not related to their care, but related to the finances.
Okay. Yeah. And so, that would be something that's a complicated thing to address. I mean, it could be easy if if we were in a position as power of attorney. Obviously the Hearts would have to agree to something like that and be comfortable with that. But there are situations where we do serve as power of attorney or even a trustee. We may even think about offering services as trustee for the qualified income trust. I'm not sure yet. We've got to practice with good ethics. We've got to practice within the rules and everything like that. But okay, well, that's definitely helpful. Thank you so much. How likely are you to recommend us to someone who's in a similar situation?
Well, first of all, I hope nobody's in a similar situation, but if they are, I would definitely recommend your office.
And if someone was listening to our conversation right now, why would they need to take action? What would you suggest that they do?
There are things that can be done in advance of needing Medicaid that will benefit your family and your loved one.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.